Next, we are going to see about the types of induction motor. The induction motor can be classified into split phase induction motor, capacitor start induction motor, capacitor start, capacitor run induction motor, shaded pole induction motor. Here, the torque produced due to the rotating magnetic field is unidirectional. There is no opposite directed torque is present. Hence, under the influence of rotating magnetic field in one direction, the induction motor becomes self-starting. First one is split phase induction motor. This is a diagram for the split phase induction motor. This type of motor has single phase stator winding called main winding. In addition to this, the stator carried one more winding is called auxiliary winding or starting winding. This auxiliary winding carries a series resistance. So, the main winding's inductively current Im lags the voltage V by the large angle phi m, where first almost in phase Vs axial winding is highly resistive. Thus, the three resistive phase difference of alpha between two currents, hence between two fluxes produced by the two currents. The resultant of these fluxes is a rotating magnetic field due to the starting torque which is acts only in the direction of the axial winding hence centrifugal switch in series with it. When the motor gathers the speed up to 70 to 80% of synchronous speed, the centrifugal switch gets opened mechanically and running condition axial winding remains out of circuits. Next one is capacitor start induction motor. The construction of this type of motor is similar to the resistance split phase type. The difference is that in series with axial winding, the capacitor is connected. The capacitive circuit draws the leading current. This feature is used in the type of increased split angle alpha between two currents phi m and IST. Depending upon whether the capacitor remains in the circuit permanently or disconnected from the circuit using centrifugal switch. The motor can be classified as capacitor start motor, capacitor start and run motor. So, this type, the starting is proportional to the alpha, hence they produce a very high starting torque. When the speed approaches 70 to 80% of synchronous speed, the starting winding gets disconnected due to the operation of centrifugal switch. The capacitor remains in the circuit only at the start, hence it is called capacitor start motor. Next one is capacitor run motor. Here, the performance only the starting but running condition also depends upon the capacity. Hence, the value of designed as compromise between the best starting and best running conditions. Next one is shaded pole motor. Shaded pole induction motor when the single phase AC supply. When the single phase supply is given to the stator winding due to the shaded pole provided to the poles, rotating magnetic field is generated. The current carried by the stator winding is alternating and produces alternating flux. The waveform of flux, the distribution of flux in the pole areas greatly influenced by the role of copper shading band. Okay, thank you.